Hello, bitches. It's a new year, so I thought I'd try something different. Hello and welcome to John Drinks, the channel where I, John, have a drink. And today, we're starting the year off weekly. Potentially. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go, to be honest. You'll have read the title to the video already, so you'll have an idea of what's happening. I'm going to drink a whiskey today. So if that's the only reason you clicked on this video, then, you know, surprise, that's the premise. That's what's going to happen today. So I thought I'd start easy with this. This is a blend that we've never covered before. It's Grant's. Hey, it's about time I got around to these motherfuckers. Grant's. It's a blend. This is the ale cask finish. I think I stole this off an orphan or something. I'm not quite sure where I acquired this. Now, I've tried doing a quick Google, a little bit of Yahooing, a little of Blast Jeeves, Bebo, and I couldn't really find much information on it. I found, I think, the previous edition to this. They had a rum cask finish. So old cameras, and probably new ones as well, have this feature where if your memory card runs out of space, it just sits there and lets you blather on. So that's fun. So I've been talking to an empty room for the past 8 minutes. What else is new? So where were we? So yeah, from where it cut off, I was talking about this bottle, wasn't I? I don't know where I got it from, and there's really not much information on the bottle at all. You might recognise the shape of the bottle. That's because the guys that have Glenfiddich, same people. They started out with Glenfiddich back in 18-2, whenever it fucking was, and then they decided to start making blends. They made blends. I'm not a search engine. You can look it up yourselves. And yeah, there's really not much to say. I did try and find this, and I couldn't find any info. I couldn't. And there's very little on the actual bottle itself. It says Cask Editions, blended Scotch whisky, product of Scotland. It says stand fast twice, once on the bottle, but there's a little cross in the middle, so it looks like it's saying stand and fast. So that's fun. And it says it's established in 1887 twice. When it says it on the bottle in relief and on the label, that's usually a warning sign. There's a lot of like decorative flourishes because they needed to pad the label out, presumably, because it just has nothing to say for itself. And it says a smooth, rich and creamy ale cask finished. I think there's supposed to be a break there, but it doesn't quite. And then on the actual so it has it on this little rondel, and then it repeats the exact same thing right here. A unique blend of whiskey finished in craft ale cask for a smooth, rich and creamy finish. Saying the same thing twice. Pretty much everywhere on this bottle, it's repeating itself. That's not a good sign, is it? I think we all know shite when we see it, to be fair, and this might be alright. But I need to know who this is for. Who's this for? Who's this for? That's what I want to know. This could be amazing. I mean, I have my doubts. Very nice bottom. Oh man, if I had a penny. It's got like a really nice like grip on it. I feel like that would be lovely on a shoe. Honestly not sure why why is that on the bottom of it? Hang on, let me just get, you know, a decent whiskey. No tread on that. Thank you, Bladnock, you may go. You know, let's get a reasonably the Johnny Walker Green. So is it the worse the whiskey, the more tread on the bottom? Is that your way of telling? Actually, what's the Mellocorn? If that's the case, then Famous Grouse must have fucking spikes on the bottom of it, but although if that's the case, I'd imagine Taguchi is just mounted to a fucking machine gun. Yeah. Do you know, I was going to say I'm a little bit nervous about sloshing this around, and then I remembered I'm not actually. If this falls on the carpet, I'd be more worried about the carpet, to be fair, than anything else. And on the back, Grant's Ale Cask Scotch Whisky, and then a load of Polish. So we've nothing to go on. So it's in the glass. We've got a glass of... Oh, God. Fuck. Wow. That couldn't wait to get out. It is a very designed gold. It's a lovely gold. It's a lovely colour. If I were to describe that as a pink colour, I'd call it Morning C3PO. That's what I'd call that. There we go, so you can have a look at that. It smells like toast. Smells like your bog standard sliced white bread, toasted, with a bit of butter. That's what it smells like. A little bit, it's a fair bit yeasty, actually. That's sort of predominantly what I'm getting. I'm going to try and stay still. And then it's just kind of flat. It's got a spiritus nose to it. It smells kind of vodka-y, if I'm honest. Would you buy this? If you saw this on the shelves, would you buy it? Would you take a punt? Do you have much trust in Grants? Tell you what, cheap and nasty blends. What's your go-to, if you have a go-to? You know what I mean when I say cheap and nasty as well. You've got your trifecta. You've got Bells, you've got Grants, and you've got Famous Grouse. I'd consider. I mean, Scottish Leader doesn't even get a look in because, I mean, that's for your Buckfast crowd, you know. You know, it's not even pretending at this stage. It's just like, yeah, I'm gasoline, drink me and get fucked up and then punch a lamppost. That's... It's quite... Hang on. I know this smell from somewhere, and I have it to hand. Oh! It's a bottle of Geneva here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a yeasty Geneva kind of a nose. Oh, thank you, old Duff. I'm getting so little from it. It's spiritus, grainy toast. That's what I'm getting. So I'm going to move on because that's all it has to offer. Chalice is still recording because paranoia now. Oh. All right, what's this taste like? Let's fucking do it. It's not awful. A little sweet. There's a burn that develops once you've swallowed it. It takes about 5 seconds to kick in, and then it comes in, which is odd. And other than that, I'm kind of struggling a little bit. Yeah, creamy, I suppose, if you want to describe that as a taste. It has a... I mean, to be fair, yeah, it does have a lactic quality to it, but quite a weak, kind of like skimmed milk. You know, the red top stuff? A little bit like popcorn, if you forgot to put anything on it. Oh, give that a good swish around. It's a freshly buttered crumpet if you forgot to get more butter, and you know how like sometimes you just have to like scrape whatever you can get out of the pack, and then that's what you've got, and it's not quite enough, but you go with it because you're going to be late for your bus otherwise. It's that kind of a crumpet. And then there's just this wall of estery liquor towards the back, and that's kind of what stays with you. That's sort of the main thing going on. Here's my problem with this, because up until now we've been best buddies. this has been finished in an ale cask, and I'm getting barely anything off of it. Like, it's bland as fuck. There's like a couple of like base note stuff, which, to be honest, I'd expect from a fairly knackered bourbon cask. So, what is the ale cask doing? Like, how naff was the whiskey beforehand? That's my concern. It's mixing whiskey. It's a cynical hat on. This is mixing whiskey for hipsters that aren't there yet. That's who this is for, I think. They're trying, and this makes me have less respect for William Grant and Sons, which I don't like, because I actually have a lot of time for them. But I feel like this is a very cynical product, and I don't approve. I thought maybe we should just get the year off to a really bad start, because the last couple of years we've started with lots of optimism and we've been thoroughly let down. So I thought, do you know what, if we start on the floor, things can only go up. So that's my logic. This is shit. No, it's not shit. It's not... It's too bland. It just kind of exists. It's politically neutral. It has alcohol, you know. It's a little bit sweet. You might be able to stick it in a cocktail and it won't do any damage. Actually, do you know what? This would do quite well in a cocktail, I reckon. Rusty nail or something like that. It would add enough to it, and the Drambuie would kind of like paint over any flaws. That would work quite well, actually. Or a highball or something like that. You know, that's where this would shine. Giving it a bit more time, it does have a bit like of a barley sugar kind of a presence. It's getting a little sweeter the more I go into it. There's a hint of vanilla and maybe a little bit of hops, but honestly, like, if you're talking about craft ale casks, it either needs to be wham, I'm beer, or don't bother. You know, that's my take on that. But again, there's very little information. I almost feel like if I found out that this could have been matured in like cask ale, like old, I don't know, like a cask IPA cask or something like that, you know, like a hand pull IPA. It's got that kind of like slightly biscuity, ever so slightly weedy bitterness that cask IPAs sometimes have. Maybe I'm not drawing them the best light. I want to quickly say as well, big advocate of cask ale. For those of you who don't follow the craft beer channel, if you follow me and you don't follow them, what in God's name are you playing at? They recently did a love letter for cask ale, sorry. It was a 4-parter, and it's a thing of beauty. It really is. And I watched all of it, and I absolutely loved it. Once you're done here, go watch that. It's so well done. I mean, those guys really know what they're doing. Again, like, if you've come to me and you haven't watched them yet, you've done this the wrong way round. You honestly have. Do you know, I'll link part 1 down below, because genuinely loved it. If they turned around and were like, yeah, we matured this in like Clydesdale IPA or something for like 3 months, okay, I could get on board with that a little bit. There's like there's something. But it's just a little too plain. Maybe I'm just being a snob. It's entirely possible I'm just being a snob. Though I will say this much. As I'm finishing it, I'm less angry with it than I was when I started it. It's grown on me a little bit. I'm actually kind of coming around to it a little bit, because as you drink more of it, the sweetness of it kind of builds. It's quite vanilla-y, creamy, lactic. I don't know, like a sweetened double cream or something like that, sort of a flavour. The bready notes kind of go away, and there is a tiny, tiny bitter edge to it. It's there. You have to look for it, but it is there. Do you know, I think it's good sometimes if like you start off a review and you kind of get turned around halfway in. I don't hate it. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I won't buy it again. I don't hate it. I would imagine it would serve a purpose. You know, if you took it along to a party or put it in a punch or something, it's going to do just fine. It's not, you know, a diabolical product by any stretch of the imagination. I just wonder if there's more marketing went into this than actual love, care, and attention. But hey, that's just me being a cynical motherfucker. And after the last few years, can you blame me? That's not just aimed at the whiskey world, by the way. It's just aimed at the world in general. To be fair, I'm an angry young man. Well, I'm an angry man now. If nothing else, it'll help me to forget, I suppose. That was Grant's. That was the, what are they calling it? Ale cask finish. Comment down below. Have you tried any Grant's products? Do you have memories of your granddad having a stash of them and being like, why is he putting that in his coffee? What's going on here? It's 3 in the afternoon. What's happening? Was that just my family? Man, that explains a lot. Thumb this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you feel like it, and if you feel like ranking your own whiskey experiences, if you're out in a pub or anything, you can now get access to my scorecard. It's available to all channel members and patrons. There's one tier on Patreon, which is £1, and there's one tier on here, which is £3, and you also get access to emojis of the cat and stuff like that, so, you know, you get a bit of extra value. For now, though, thank you very much for watching. And do join me next time, where I'll be drinking some... Oh, New Year, New Me.